All right, guys, welcome back to Alpha Talk Podcast. If you guys can hear me clearly and see me and my guests, just give me a quick one before we get started. A quick one, guys. Quick one. If you guys can hear me as you guys come in, if you can see me and hear me clearly, comment a quick one. Quick number one. Quick number one. Quick number one. Before we get started, let's get this. Let's get it. 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 If y'all can see me and hear me, comment one. If y'all can see me and hear me, comment one. I'm gonna wait for the ones to come in. All right, here we go. Dope. All right, guys, welcome back to Alpha Talk Podcast. I'm gonna let you guys come in as y'all come in. Today, I got some guests. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves and let's get started. From the top, I believe it's at Yes. Introduce yourself.
Oh no, I wasn't hoping to be first. Okay, so I'm Yessie. Catch me on Instagram, just like this. 33 years old, currently evolving, and perfection is a dream. Also, I am an investor in real estate. I do hospitality and network marketing,
Okay,
and I'm also conscious.
awesome, great. Sophie, introduce
Yeah,
yourself.
my name is Sophie. I'm 27, Swedish, based in Amsterdam, so it's in the middle of the night for me. Very
Mm,
committed.
thanks
I
for
work
coming.
as an in-house strategist at a large IT company and
Okay,
study business and strategy.
awesome. Cairo.
Um, I'm Kyria. I'm
Period.
9. Yeah, I'm 19. I do a lot of things. I'm currently pursuing my bachelor's degree in finance and economics. I'm a fellow podcaster and a cleaning influencer as well.
Okay. Um, who is Monica?
Hello, my name is Monica. I'm 25 and I'm a nanny.
We need you to speak up a little louder, Monica, so everybody can hear you. I'll get
Oh,
closer.
okay. Um, my name is Monica. I'm 25. Nanny.
Awesome. Asia.
All right, my name is Asia Sky. I am a singer and a pianist and vice president of Blue Dream Music Group.
Okay. Only Sophie mentioned where they were from. Can you guys all mention where you live?
I live in Miami right now, but I grew up in the US and the UK.
Okay. Monica? Monica.
I'm born and raised in New York. Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Are you
Okay.
in New York?
I'm born and raised in New York. No, I'm currently in LA, but I'm moving back soon.
Okay.
I currently live in New York and I grew up in Florida.
Okay. And the first person? Yes.
Oh,
See?
sorry. Yeah, I'm originally from the Bronx. I just moved back to New York from Brickell, Miami. Take me back, guys. I don't want to be here.
Okay. All right, man. Let's get started. I guys today, Alpha Talk Podcast. We're discussing what do modern women bring to the table. My first question relating to this topic, um, for you ladies, should you have to? So listen to me. Should you have to compete for a man, or should a man have to compete for you? We'll start. We'll start from the bottom up. So Asia, what do you think? Should you have to compete for a man, or should he have to compete for you?
Um, this is a really difficult question. I think it could really change at any point. Truthfully, you know, I don't know. I think it's a little both. I know, like you, that's not the answer you're looking for, but
So just who should have to compete more for who?
so okay. So in a man's aspect, he probably wants a woman that takes care of himself, that is not a hoe, that does good things and is like a good assistant to him. But on the other hand, a good man should be an actual man that does what he's supposed to do in life and is strong and very good at making decisions. That's, I think, we could definitely coexist in a lot of ways, but you get
So
me.
so that kind of doesn't answer my question in terms of competition. Everybody has to work on themselves, great, but
Okay.
who should
Well,
compete for who?
Can I answer what I think of
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
um I think competition is good, but I think when we're competing against each other is more of a problem than there is a solution. But when we're competing within our inner selves, it's a better perspective, I think. Because, like, if we're teammates, we don't want to go against each other, right? So the only person I want to go against is who I was because who I'm becoming is better than who she was then. So I want to
But
compete with myself in that aspect, but not with my mate.
okay, so when you get your man, great. I'm not saying you guys are having a tug of war to see who's gonna get the power in the relationship. I'm saying who should compete for who? Like in terms of mating, like if before you
well,
get your man.
a woman should definitely try to show why she's a good woman for him. So I think that's kind of the start, and then the rest of the relationship is up to the man to really mold.
Yeah, because biology, yeah, like genetically, you guys are embedded to go after us.
That's not kind.
But
That does not. No, 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 no. She just said
no,
a woman. She just said a woman should show him why she's a good woman. Um, a man pursuing and who should compete for who is two different things. All right. I think I
okay.
agree with Asia. I think a woman needs to show that she's a good woman for a man. Men have to compete against the world, right? So a man's life, a man's path to the man to be the man that all you guys want him to be is challenging. Right? We don't have any intrinsic value, so we have to create value about who we are for women to then pick us. It's kind of crazy that then women think that then they should just we should then still compete for women. I think women should compete for that guy that you want. Not for every guy, but the guy that you want, you should be willing to compete for him. You need to outwork every other woman for the guy that you want. Because for him to be the guy that you want, chances are he had to prove himself in a lot of ways. Does
Well,
that
I
make sense?
think that is a good idea, but I think that a lot of times, like, a guy will kind of know what he wants at the end of the day, and if a girl can compete her ass off and not compared to a girl that he likes, and she might have less things for him, but it's what he likes at the end of the day.
But no, if you're looking at who men will sleep with and who when men will marry are two different things. If you're saying okay, one girl might be more beautiful, so men pursue her more. That's one thing. But who a man is going to marry, she needs to have a lot more than looks for a high value man. A high value man, the guy that all you guys want, right, is not going to be so fascinated by a woman's beauty. He's going to be used to that already. So that's when the values, the capabilities of her as a woman come into play. So I wouldn't say neglect or just forget about competing. Just understand that what men sleep with or want to sleep with and marry is not the same thing.
Understood.
Okay, what do you what Sophie and
Yeah, I wanted to ask, when you say compete for, do you mean also pursue? Or in what sense do you mean compete?
no, I think for the most part men should pursue, but this is my issue, right? I think a lot of women you don't even pursue back. You let the man do everything, and it frustrates a lot of guys because you take pursuing and chasing as the same thing. Like you reaching out to a guy that you find attractive or want to be with, it's not you chasing him. So I think a man should make his intentions clear that he wants to go out with you, but you should be doing everything in your power to make this relationship progress as fast as possible, and not like playing these games or whatever, thinking that's gonna make him like you.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good.
I mean, I think that women aren't in this day and age, women have no choice but to compete for men in the mating market, because the amount of masculine men or high value men in this day and age are very limited. So so once you find a high value man, a lot of women already took notice of that. So in order to secure him for yourself, you are going to have to compete. And I know it sucks, like women are supposed to support women, but women also have a very limited age bracket in which they can pursue back, hence the competition. Like women only have about 10 to 15 years of that, while men have the rest of their lives. So women have to compete, which is, it shouldn't be like that, but I'm just saying in this day and age that's how it is, because good men are really hard to find.
Okay, do you think that modern women are competing though, or they have the mindset that men should compete? What's the reality of the world we're living in right now?
I think that, wait, I'm sorry, can you repeat that question one more time?
Do you think that modern women are competing like you said that they should, or do they have the mindset that men should compete for them?
I think that they have the mindset that men should compete for them because of the because you think that competition just makes men better, but like you said before, men are competing in every other aspect of their lives. They
Okay.
shouldn't have to compete in the dating world as well, and competing is different from pursuing.
Did somebody else want to mention something?
Yeah, I definitely can see now. If you're talking about high value men, I guess then yeah, women probably would have to compete in that aspect. But the basic guy, it could be either or.
Yeah, exactly. For a basic guy, it's whatever. But like if you see a high value man and you know that he has a bunch of desirable traits that other women would want, then you gotta compete a little bit.
Yes. Yes. C. What do you want me to call you? What do you want me to call you?
You can call me Yessie.
Okay.
It's
Yes. C.
short for Yesenia. But
Yes.
that's,
Senor. What do you
yeah,
want?
you see, but judges and politicians and like, politically correct people call me Yesenia. But
Okay.
my homies and my family, we all call me Yessie.
Okay. So what do
But
you what do you what do you think?
Yessie's fine. Please and
Okay.
thank you.
So what do you have to say about this topic?
Um, you see, I know like I'm like and the exception to society because I usually go against what they tell me to go and flow
In
with.
terms of what?
In terms of believing that us women, as we get older, we devalue in our sense of worth. I feel like biological modern women are in a space where we're so independent that we can with or without. We rather with because it's something that's embedded within us, but we're after empires and making money and growing families. Like I come from the trenches. So here and there, we do have examples of women that were able to manifest a way out of the darkness of what our trenches are. But nevertheless, I feel like modern women, we're growing financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically. Like I see a lot of 50, 60-year olds with pecs that are harder than yours, sir.
You
But
see, wait. So you're saying modern women are more independent because y'all are making more money? Is that what you're saying?
I feel like we're more evolved in
You're
all
more
sense.
involved. Okay, so
Yeah.
now let's look at that. Does that make if you look at the numbers and look at the situation that women are in right now, is that more beneficial to women? Are women happier that they're more independent, or is it something that is actually working against them?
I mean, collectively, it's something that will be working against each other, but like spiritually, it's all good because you're working on yourself and you're experiencing joy and love and peace from a perspective that you don't need anyone else to
That's but
accommodate these things for
that's
you.
that's that's not a good mindset. You do need men. So that's the whole framing that society has got women to start believing that you don't need a man because you're independent and this and this. When in reality, you're not really that independent. You're still working for a company that will fire you. You're still like
For
you're more
yourself.
you're less independent uh as a worker than you are as a mom, because I mean at least you have power in your own home. But with a corporate job, you're just one of many. So I think women have lost a lot of power by becoming quote unquote independent. And this is why uh more women are not competing for men because of that mentality.
I feel like, um, no, I feel like being independent is good. And
So let me ask you. You say you're how old? 33?
yes,
Okay. Do you have a family?
yes,
Husband, children?
I have 4 kids.
Do you have a husband?
No.
So you're raising four
But
kids by
I was proposed twice. Let the record state I was
let's
proposed
okay,
twice and I said
congratulations.
no.
You're raising 4 kids by yourself.
Technically, no, I can't take that away from him either. No.
So you're raising at the moment you're raising 4 kids by yourself.
Yeah.
And you were
Honor.
so you think that's a net positive or net negative?
It's definitely a negative, but I work with what I have,
Why?
and
Why do you work with what you have instead of changing the way you think and saying maybe I don't need to be so independent, so I don't have to carry this burden by myself?
right, because first of all, okay, yeah, you're right. But okay, so I'm a product of a race. So growing up, there was a lot of mental conditioning that I underwent and created of my character who she was and who I was in the past, that led me to poor choices in picking who I surrounded myself with.
Okay.
Whether it was my friendship in business, whether it were my friendship in school, and my love interest. So it came to a point that I started questioning myself to evolve and grow. And once I did that, I was able to fire the white man, work for myself, get my hands in a couple of investments. Sure, my life is not picture perfect how I planned it to be, but I can't take responsibility over someone else's poor choices. And I have my boundaries, and there's rules, and there's some things that I just can't, there's some burdens that I can't bear for a man.
So at 33 with 4 kids, would you be willing to submit to a man if he was willing to take care of you and your kids right now?
I'm willing to submit to a man, not considering that because my kids are already well taken care of. But I'm willing to submit because that's embedded within me, and that's who I am as a woman.
So why
But
haven't you why haven't you submitted a long time ago? Why are we here? And you still,
I did, but a man that has no head on his shoulders leads the family astray, and his poor choices cost us our family.
okay, so when did you have these kids? At what age?
Uh, from 18 to 27,
So what is that?
many
Almost
years,
9 years.
13 years,
Okay.
about.
Mm, nah, that's not 13 years. That's about 9.
Okay, so I have a 13-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 5-year-old, and a 4-year-old.
Okay. Um, and from 18 to 27, when did you leave the guy that gave you these kids?
I was pregnant of divinely, so about 4 years ago.
So you were pregnant. The last child was 4 years ago
Hmm.
of the same guy. So
Well,
you
two. There's two. There's the older one, and then there's my younger three.
okay, and they're all from the same guy.
3 out of the 4, yeah.
Okay, so you have 3 kids, 2 different fathers,
Yeah.
and
My first child was in a space and time where depression was really thick. And considering where I come from and the program that I was embedded, I needed someone to feel love. Like this wasn't life for me. I just wanted a child. So straight out of high school, 1 plus 1 equals a third, and Christopher and I, which was a very childish relationship, bore fruit. But I don't regret it. I love it. It's taught me a lot of who I am, and I, because of him, I was able to open my eyes and evolve from the darkness that I came out of.
Okay, so fresh out of high school, you were with the first guy, and that's the guy that gave you 3 kids.
No, the first one gave me just one. The last one gave me my three.
Okay, and the last child was when you were 27.
Uh, or 28. Yeah, it was 2018.
So that's been like 5 years.
About 3, yeah.
What has happened in 5 years? Why haven't you already found another man to submit to? Since you've clearly been making poor choices with the men that you've been picking. Like what hasn't changed, or why haven't you changed in the last half a decade?
I feel like I am changing. I'm evolving, and it takes time. It takes patience. It takes love. It takes peace. Like, it's life is life. It's happening to us all, and I feel like I'm consciously plugging into the right things to continue my evolution, because it's not just about me. It's about the people that come through me and the people that are around me, because we're all in this together. It's one
Okay.
and all in one.
So do you see how this independent mindset has not given you the best possible outcome of dating?
So this independent mindset came from a mindset that was much more oppressive. So in this independent mindset, I was able to make multiple figures, three 6 figures income, not consistently, but I've been able to see a lot of hundreds of thousands through my hands. And
Doing what? Doing what exactly?
working for myself, I have investment, I have real estate.
Okay.
There's times that I just, grind just to grind, like when I went to Brickell. Anyways, case in point, it's a process. I am a rough in the, what is it called? The diamond in the rough. And this pressure is polishing me. And I feel like in today's world, we're just evolving with technology, with how fast we're connecting, with how fast information is, with how vast information is, and how easily and accessible it is to us. And I don't know.
Okay. So you became independent. You started making more money, which has helped you take care of your kids, but you still haven't found the guy. That's what I'm trying to allude to. Like, you still have not met the man that should be supporting you, instead of you having to carry all this burden by yourself. So I'm saying this independent mindset is not helping you in terms of your relationships.
But I don't even feel that what I have is a burden. I feel like what I have is a joy. So someone
Yeah,
that
that's great. But
really
but listen,
invests in
listen,
me.
listen, listen. Women need to understand that you need to judge yourself based on how men are gonna view you. The market, how the market is gonna view you. All right. You're trying to attract men. So you love your kids, great. You love your situation, great. But how are men gonna view that? This is where I think the brainwashing and the delusion comes in, because a lot of women, you have been led to believe that you should be independent while not making yourself attractive to the opposite sex, which is the buyer. The opposite sex is the buyer, right? You need to be trying to make yourself attractive to men. Same thing with men. Men need to be trying to make themselves attractive to women. But just because you don't feel like it's a burden, that's not the same way men see it.
Well, luckily, I won't be in a relationship with all men. It will just be this one, and the one will be my one, and it will be a direct reflection of who I am. So, in time, I want to perfect myself as best as I can and polish myself. So, when this person does come into my existence, I'm ready
Do,
to
do you
receive
think
and reciprocate the love.
do you think it might be too late? Because if he's a guy that wants children and you already have four, um, like it can.
You see, I am such an optimistic. It's so disgusting.
So okay,
Um,
what are you doing? This is Here we go again. What are you doing that if you're in this position right now? What are you doing to be in the market to show men that, hey, you might see my situation as being bad, but I can still provide something? What are you doing? How are you making yourself attractive to men? What are you bringing to the table for a man? That's my next question.
So you got me there because I'm actually not focused in that. So what I'm focused is in being my better self. So when the man is available and I'm available in a space that we can both share equally, and it's not a burden but a joy to carry and flow through, then to God be the glory. But I'm not in a position where it's like I'm doing my makeup for a man, I'm getting my money back together for a man, I'm like raising my kids the best I can for the greater good of all for a man, like a man, a man, a man. No,
But
it's me.
how long you gonna wait for? How long you gonna wait for this magic to happen? Like when do you give yourself this time frame? Or are you happy with being alone?
I'm comfortable being alone. I'd rather not.
That's a bad thing.
I'd
Okay,
rather
how
not.
are you comfortable being alone?
I'd rather not, but I'm comfortable. I find peace and joy.
You
I
should
find
be.
I find peace and joy in the relationship that I upkeep, and I know that yes, a romantic relationship is definitely what fairy tales are made out of, and I want to experience my very own fairy tale. But that's just not the only relationship I uphold in my life or that I have space for.
So well,
So
my recommendation in terms of what you should bring to the table is you need to make your value known because men are not. So this is the problem. This man that you're waiting for to come and give you like your I want the space to be so and so and so. Why would he pick you? A woman in her
uh,
30s with 4 kids,
so
opposed to a girl who's 20 with no children.
So I feel like life happens to us all, so judgment is definitely not my strongest characteristic. I also feel that as a woman, what I bring peace, I bring love, I bring connection, I bring safety. When the world's beating your ass down and you want a place to call home, you come and nuzzle your chest in my bosoms or your face in my bosoms and let me cuddle away that pain. Let me
Okay.
feed you good. Let me do what I gotta do, stuff
Hey,
like that. But otherwise, I'm whole first, so I can be and trickle more of me to you, not you, but like you, my you.
right.
Does that
Okay.
make sense?
So let's go to Sophie. What do you bring to a table?
Thank
What do you
you.
bring to the table to a relation? How old are you, by the way, Sophie?
27.
So you're 27. Do you have children?
No, I have no children.
Okay. So what do you bring to the table?
Well, I've recently learned a lot about the masculine and feminine energy, and I think that's really interesting.
Okay.
So I think that as a woman, it's very important to be able to receive and hold space, and yeah, kind of like tying into what you said, Jesse. I think that was nice what you ended with. I agree with that.
So okay, let's talk about let's leave the feelings out of it. And let's talk about a man's life of the high value man that wants to pick you. Why should he pick you? Why should he pick you, Sophie, over Yessie, over Asia, over Monica? Let's just in an imaginary world that you guys all want the same guy. Why should he go with you over the other girls?
Now it's the competition setting.
That there has to be a competition.
Love it.
Boys will be boys, they say.
Reality. So
No,
men have
it's
to.
fair. It's fair. I totally agree. I think it's fair. Um, well, in this case, I think you make a good point. Um, I am 27. I'm well educated. I have my health in order. I have my own place, my life put together. I take care of myself. Um, no children, aiming to have a family.
So let
Um,
me ask you. Let me ask you this: Your last relationship, how did it end? Why did it end? What happened?
he was 3 years younger than I am,
Okay.
and he was not done exploring. So he
He was
wanted
not.
to go
What? Can you say that again?
exploring.
So he was still exploring.
Yeah,
Okay. Do you know why he was still exploring?
I guess you could say beta versus alpha male.
No. That has nothing to do with it. I'm saying, why was the last guy you were with? Why do you think he was exploring?
Um, Not sure I understand what you mean.
Your last relationship,
Yeah,
it ended because he wasn't ready for like commitment or something like that?
yeah.
And why do you think that?
He was 23 at the time.
Okay. And you
And
were 24 or 20?
26.
Okay.
So this was about a year ago.
Would you consider him a high value man at 23? Or was he not that kind of guy for you?
No, I think he's not really there yet.
So why were you dating him?
Yeah, I was at that point in my life where I attracted that type of man,
What's that type of man?
the non-committed type.
What does that mean? Was he attractive?
Yeah, beautiful to look at.
So he had options with women. Other women found him attractive.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but you refused to when he didn't want to commit. Commit? What was your response?
Again, please.
When he didn't want to commit, what was your response?
I said that's all good, and I let him leave.
So you didn't want to fight. You didn't want to. You refused to make him pick you.
Yeah.
Why?
Um, I think because of the age difference, and I felt like I'm a bit in a rush.
So you were pushing him for a relationship, basically.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't have said that he was stable. Was he making good money, or was he just really attractive?
No, he wasn't making money. He's a student. He was still trying to figure his life out. He wanted to travel, wasn't sure what he wanted to do. Still in therapy for trauma with his childhood and a whole lot of things going on. A beautiful person, and
Okay.
I try to see the best in people and wanted to give him a chance. And the fact that he kind of
So
between
let me ask you, when did you push for a relationship? Was it after a year, 3 months? When was it exactly?
well, we were dating for 6 months in total. That's it.
Okay.
So about I'd say 4 months in, I could kind of tell, okay, this is not really going where I wanted to go.
Okay. So here's the problem, ladies. The guys that you want, every single one of y'all, you're going to run into the same problem. You're going to run into a guy who either is going to be very good looking and has options with women, or has everything and is going to have even more options than women. So the dilemma that women have is the men that you really, really want, you still do not want to fight for. So you end up with the guys that I'm not. He likes me, so I'm gonna just deal with him, and then you're never happy. So what I'm saying is, you're 27. The guys that you're going to be attracted to is not going to change. What you like in men is not going to change. You're probably going to like the same type of guy, but now he's going to be more stable, and he's still going to have options in women, and he still might not be ready to just be with one woman. Would you be okay with you being the main woman and him sleeping with other girls?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
I don't think I could handle that.
What if he set boundaries and was honest about it and told you, baby, you're the one for me, but I'm still gonna date. I'm still gonna sleep with other women, but they're not gonna take your spot. You get everything the girlfriend gets, but his sexual exclusivity is not for you. Would you be okay with that?
No, I don't think so.
What about the rest of you ladies? Sexual exclusivity. Does a man need to only sleep with you?
Well, I've worked in the medical field before, and you can still get herpes from even using condoms. So I just don't think it's safe if I let my man just go and just, throw himself out there like with no discipline. Like everybody's got to have some kind of discipline, and and if you can't control like your dick, it's a maybe you can't control a relationship.
So let me ask you this, Asia.
Mhm.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay, when you were 18, right?
Mhm.
How come you didn't pick one guy and be with him for the rest of your life?
Well, because in other cases they found another girl.
Okay, so and even when you were 18, you still did not want to compete for a man, and women don't want to accept the fact that men, right? We
I've been in some competitions before with my first ex boyfriend when I was 18, and that didn't end so well
so
for
you didn't
me.
win. You didn't
No,
win.
I didn't win. I
Okay,
think
why didn't you win?
I believe I was just too well. I was 18, still actually in high school actually, and he was 20.
Mm.
So the girl that he actually chose, he had known her for a while, and she was in the military. So I think what happened is they just made a stronger mental connection. And me, I wasn't that mentally there. I was just having a good time, good vibe. But at the end, maybe I just didn't get to him mentally like the other girl did
Okay,
at the time.
bing bang. So let's fast forward to 30 now.
Hmm.
What's the situation with men?
Well, the situation now, I've actually been single for a long time.
Mhm.
Just because I don't want to waste my time or the man's time if it's not going to work out. And also, me personally, I know I need a mental connection too before I really even want to like sleep with the guy, or it's just not going to happen. So my thing is, it's a little bit of me. Like now that I'm older, I kind of stay inside more. I don't really go out as much. And then maybe because of that, I'm not making a lot of mental connections. I was more out back then, and much more so than now.
So when you were 18, you didn't get the guy you want.
Hmm.
Fast forward 12 years,
Hmm.
you still haven't got the guy you want. Do you think that maybe it has more to do with you than men?
Um, well, I believe in the past. Now, I wasn't taught the correct way. I grew up with a military father, and he always told me you gotta go out and you do your own thing. And so I struggled a lot trying to be independent, and I'm fine now. Like I'm okay, perfectly fine with how I am, but I would prefer not to. But a lot of that was stemmed from uh, how I was taught, and so I had to relearn a lot of just different things that I was taught wrongly. But for now, I would say, yeah, I think it's maybe my fault because I don't go out that much. I don't really put myself out there. Maybe I should actively, but I'm not on Tinder. I'm not on any dating sites at the moment.
Do you
Just
do you,
because,
do you, do you approach men?
no.
So you don't approach men. You don't put yourself out there.
Yeah.
And if you do meet this guy, he needs to only fuck you.
Um.
That's interesting. So let's say you meet this perfect guy or the guy that you really want, but he still wants to date other women. You wouldn't be okay with it.
Um. I just am just very particular about the times I know that STDs are on the rise, and if somebody just can't control themselves and happens to
But it's
do
not it's
that.
not so much it's not so much about control. So men who we are, we want to spread our seed. And the higher value a guy is, the more options he has with women. This does not mean that he can't love one woman and sleep with multiple, but and men can very well do that.
But
I
where's the
just
integrity in that?
what do
Where's
you
the
mean integrity?
I just
moral?
think that it's a very difficult to like just be throwing your seed around everywhere.
Yeah,
Like
but that's
it
who men are.
would.
So let me ask you this: would it be fair to say that women are weak and incompetent because they want stronger, smarter, better leaders than men? This is what
I
men
don't
value.
think that's a weak and incompetent. I just think that comes from weakness. Like, yeah,
No,
women
no, no,
are
no. That's
supposed.
that's just what women value. Women value men who are stronger, more competent, and
Mhm.
lead. And men, we want to be able to date multiple women, especially if he's worked his way up to be this high value guy that multiple women want. So I've asked you ladies to tell me what you could bring to the table with one guy, all right? And it's not really clear, but this guy still has to only sleep with you
I
after
mean,
he's worked. Go ahead. What's
oh,
talk?
I think that it's like I've said this before. I think that the whole what do you bring to the table talk is very materialistic because you think that you can outsource what a woman can do, and a woman nowadays thinks that she can outsource what a man can do. But it's not necessarily about that. Like a man can cook and clean and a woman can make her own money, but relationships are about serving each other in love. And I think there's a misconception in being submissive because a lot of people think that it's being subservient to your man, but that's not really the case. And there's nothing wrong with being submissive to your man. I'm a Christian, so I think that I should follow my man and my man will lead the family in whatever way he goes, I'll follow. But as for the question and what I bring to the table as a woman, I would say, I am 19, so I'm technically in my quote unquote prime. But also, there's the fact that I have this mentality. Like, I know I want a husband, I want a family, and I want all of that pretty early. Like, I want to be a young mom. And because of those things that I want, I have done certain things and shaped my life in a certain way so that I am ready for marriage. I am ready to be a mother. I'm financially stable in certain ways. I have built side incomes that will come in so I don't need to be at work so that my husband will have some financial help and I can still stay home with the kids. So I want to be a stay-at-home mom. That's my main goal. And
So,
because
so
yeah.
you mentioned in the beginning of how you think what the question, what do you bring to the table, is materialistic. No, it's very, very logical. Human beings don't pick mates that we don't feel would add to our life. So it's a very logical question. And you should ask that question and he should ask that question. Why you should I recommend women pick the best man they can get.
Mhm.
I recommend men pick the best woman they can get. So there needs to be things that are brought to the table. You just have to compete for it. But you sound like you're competing for it. You're shaping your life in the way that you can be an asset to a man's life. That's what you just explained. A
Yeah.
lot of women are not doing that.
Yeah, because I, as a woman, am an asset to a man. So regardless of whether or not I think that that question is materialistic, I will still shape my life in expectance of a man because as a woman, I will be an asset to a man. I know for a fact that I will never undermine my husband, my future husband, and anything that he wants to do. I know for a fact that I won't do that because I was raised with certain traditional and Christian values. Now, I'm not going to say that I'm like a trad wife because I'm not. I'm still like in school and stuff like that. But I am shaping my life in efforts to get what is most desirable for me, which is caring for my family. Because right now I work in corporate, I work in investment banking, and corporate really opened up my eyes and I realized that I traded one role for another. So I traded the role of serving my family for serving people who really don't care about me in the corporate world. And I'm doing it for just, the same amount of money, a weekly paycheck, but I'm not fulfilled. I know I'm not fulfilled. I don't feel like a woman. I don't feel like I'm doing anything worthwhile just going to work because that's what I'm supposed to do. So that's when I really knew that I wanted to become a mother at the end of the day because I want something fulfilling and I know exactly what will fulfill me in the future.
Okay, it sounds like you're on the right track. You have seen the light, right? That a lot of women have not seen, or they see too late. Right? You saw the light when
Well,
you're still in your prime.
well, yes, and I'm very thankful that I have. It's just that feminism. It's like it's very the aspect of feminism. It's very harmful to women nowadays because it feeds women a certain lie that you should have to do everything, and we misinterpret it because like feminism basically tells women that you can be and do anything in the world that you want, which we can do because we have our rights to do that now. But us women, we think that because we can do everything and anything that we want, that we should be doing everything. But us women, we're not supposed to be doing everything, and it's okay to accept help because to raise a family you need both people. You need a mother and a father. You can't do it alone. But again, feminism has also impacted men, and men are leaving families and leaving single mothers, and it's all just a mess. It's really a mess.
Okay, I appreciate that perspective. I agree with everything you said after the is it what you bring to the table is materialistic. I think it's very, very realistic, and you sound like you are paving the way to be picked by a high value man, which you should. So let me get to the next. Let me get to the next question. All right, I want to ask you, ladies, what makes a man controlling specifically?
Um,
What would you consider a man doing that is controlling?
if he's laserly focused on just every single thing that you do and making sure that it's in his favor, but I don't know. I don't really mind too much if he's controlling, but if
So
it's
let's talk about that. If he's laser focused on everything that you're doing, so it's in his favor. So if him saying that you shouldn't have an Instagram because he doesn't want men pursuing you, is that controlling?
I think it could be a little insecure, but if he really, really feels some type of way, if I really like care about him and love him, then fine, whatever. But I wouldn't typically, I would try to get to the root to it. Like, what is it about it that makes you upset? More so
So
about me having an Instagram.
what
And
what what is insecure about him not wanting his woman to be available?
well, because Instagram isn't necessarily meaning that you're available. There's a lot of people, like, we could post pictures of us together, like on Instagram, and we could just put it publicly that we're fine and I'm taken and everything should be fine. So it's just really the man's mentality about it at the end of the
Would you
day.
agree that
Or
men
even for business too.
would you agree that men pursue you on Instagram regardless of your relationship status?
Well, they would pursue a woman would pursue him on the street regardless,
Okay, so who's getting more of that though? It's like
Well, of
so,
course, women are getting more Instagram, of course.
so logically, why would a man not want why would a man want his woman to be on Instagram if he
Well,
knows that she can easily get hundreds of DMs, especially if she's beautiful, every single week?
I have a question. Will it matter to the high value men if the Instagram is for business purposes only? So like for entrepreneurs and, self-employed kind of people.
I think a lot of men would be okay with that if you took certain measures, like if you only allow certain messages from certain people. It's just so the whole term
you can
insecure.
get the password.
No. It's
Fine.
the whole term insecure gets thrown around when men want to have boundaries, right? Okay, I don't want my woman to be accessible to other men, even if it's other men even thinking that they have a chance. I think that's very, very secure. I don't think that's insecure at all. Like a man that is not a man that wants his woman who is okay with you doing whatever the hell you want to do, right? That can be detrimental to the relationship is the person that's insecure.
I would just say that as far as Instagram goes, I just think that it's just a means of just social networking. So the woman could have friends, but I definitely think if he feels too insecure and they have a
Here
good
we go with the
relationship,
insecure. Here we go with the insecure.
I think it could be a little bit, but at the same time, like a girl can go on the beach and walk around. That's not going to stop other dudes. She can be wearing full neck down to the ankles and a guy will still whistle at her. You
Right.
know,
But we're saying in a controlled environment, which is Instagram, that
okay.
you control. I understand that you going in the streets, you can't control what a random man does to you, but you have a social media account,
Hmm.
right? And if you value your relationship with your man and
Hmm.
he doesn't feel comfortable with other men having even that access to you, that you should be very understanding of that.
Yeah, I understand. I just think that also it does you have to pay attention to the woman's content too. If she is posting a lot of just provocative pictures, that might not be respectful for the relationship. But if it's like basic, here's my family, this is what I did today, it could be, just sharing your life in a lot of ways. But like I said, if he doesn't agree with it, I'm fine because that's my relationship, that's my man, and I'm just gonna do what my man says. But at the same time, I don't think that it's that serious as
Okay,
far
what do you think about that? Yes, see.
I mean, I agree with her completely. First of all, like my man should be secure enough in the woman that I am that I would never sidestep him. And if it comes to the matter of the fact that he needs the account password, there you go. You can have it. You can even help me, market this, market that, help me take some pictures and. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I
So
think
you guys have no problem taking measures to make him feel more comfortable.
of course, no
Okay, I
problem.
respect that.
right. Because I feel like also in a relationship, you deal with you outside of you with your partner. So if you wouldn't like you to pull a you on you, then don't pull it on him.
Mm.
Does that make sense?
All right. So let me ask you
I
ladies
don't
this:
know.
does anybody else have something to say? Monica, Kira, Sophie.
Um, I was just gonna say, like, I would do whatever, like, to keep the peace in my partnership. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, if it's something as stupid as Instagram, like, why the hell not? It's not that big of a deal. It's not even real life, not really. So,
But I
mm,
don't want you guys to look at it that way. So you're looking at it as okay as just keeping a peace. I want you to look at it from how a man understands other men. The reason why a man wouldn't be comfortable with you having your Instagram open or you having male friends is because he knows what other men want. He knows that other men will pretend to be your friend. Other men will gladly be patient while hoping for something to go wrong and take that opportunity. So he's looking out
the,
for the relationship, like indirectly by him make taking those measures. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but don't you think that focus is kind of put in the wrong way?
No.
Because
If
if
he
you're
values the relationship, if he doesn't care about you, he's gonna let you do whatever the hell you want to do. If
right,
he
but if
says, "I value the relationship. I don't want this. I don't want anything to jeopardize our relationship. I'm going to take steps to make sure that nothing comes between us."
right, so like in my relationship, you're my best friend, so there's no need for me to sidestep and have random conversations with random people that are not going to fulfill our bag. So
Yeah, but how does he know? How does he know what other men are thinking in terms of when they reach out to you? Men, you can have a business page, and a man could pretend to want to be your business partner, all in the hopes to fuck you.
right, but you don't have to worry about what men want because I'm the woman and you're securing me
But
and I'm securing
he has to protect
you.
you. That's his role as a man. He's a provider
Right.
and a protector. He
And the
needs
way
to
you
make.
protect it is by upholding and fulfilling all the job requirements for this relationship to continue to grow and continue to evolve.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If somebody broke into the house, I'm gonna give you this analogy, right? Somebody broke into the house, but you had locks, right? Would you not expect your man to still go fight and make sure that he protects you from dying if somebody broke into the house?
Yeah, we both fighting.
No, he's not. You both fighting. He needs to make sure that y'all live.
We both
That's
fighting, but
like,
when you die, we go both gonna die.
well,
We gonna
please don't have that mentality because you're gonna die.
die.
You should hide or run away, and he protect the home. That's my point with. That's my point with him taking that extra measure to protect you. So there might be locks on the door, but he still has to fight if some shit goes wrong, or he's still willing to fight if somebody breaks through the door. So when he's saying, "I don't want you to be available to other men in terms of having friends or even the Instagram," he's not just looking out for. Okay, I know my girl won't cheat, but he's trying to make sure that even if there's nothing possible for another man to break this up.
I know. I feel like a lot of guys don't even like are on that level. They're so soft now. They would be like, "Hey, girl, if I get him,
But whose fault is that though?
that's feminism." Haha.
Right, right. Let's talk about the middle. Why are most men soft? It has a lot to do with men, right? Not dropping their nuts and challenging the status quo, but a lot of it is just the society that we're in, right? Men are told to basically not have an opinion. If it, being masculine is looked at the wrong way, like society is suppressing masculinity. So how do you expect men to be more masculine if you only have a select few guys like me who are trying to bring light to what is going on? When the rest of it is, oh, if you say anything wrong about women or you don't agree, you're a misogynist. So men just don't talk. Whose fault
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah, a lot of people like nowadays are just really sensitive when it comes to actual like constructive criticism, and that's our big problem. Nobody wants to just tell people straight up what the truth is, and that's our problem. Truthfully,
I got you. Monica, what you want to say?
Well, I was gonna say I think a lot of it does have to do with feminism and the fact that like a lot of women like, you know, they go on this route of like, oh, I don't want to be with my man anymore, whatever. They have kids with them. And then they don't see, they're like, oh, I'm just going to work on myself or whatever. And then they don't see, like, it's just me, 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 me. And they don't see or think about their children and the repercussions of not having a father in the family. Like, they want to pick random, like, petty fights or whatever, or, oh, my man is not the whole package, so, screw him or whatever. And I think that has also affected the way that some men have been brought up.
Right, because a lot of young men are raised by single mothers.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
Exactly.
and the stats aren't favoring that single mother. Like the most men who are in juvenile detention centers are raised by single women. Uh, most men that commit suicide are raised by single women. So you guys understand that feminism was not to empower women. I think a lot of women don't understand that. It was just to get you to work.
No, yeah, it definitely isn't empowering women anymore. Like, I think we're in the third wave. No, we're in the fourth wave of feminism right now. And I'm a bit confused on what we're fighting for as women, because we have our right to vote and we have our own money and our right to work and all of that. So I'm a little confused on what we're fighting for if our rights are exactly the same as men's rights. But I just feel like modern day feminism, like, I'm not trying to sound
To
like
prove something.
I really don't want to sound like a male sympathizer, but I am really about being fair. And it feels like modern day feminism has turned into just victimhood and misandry, and that's how it's been for like the past couple of years, and that's how society has been for the past couple of years. And like men's mental health rates are, it's so sad to see what men are going through in that regard because of what us women are putting them through. Like, we don't see it because we expect men to just be strong all the time, but at the same time we shame men for being so strong and so masculine at the time. So it's like, what the hell are men supposed to do, so we're not really given an option of what to do. And at the same, like, then there's a double standard when it comes to boundaries. Like, we're always empowering women. Oh, don't let your man do this, or don't let your man tell you to do this. But when a man says that, oh, when men say don't let your woman do this or don't let your woman do that, it's flipped and it's suddenly controlling or misogynistic. But women could do it all they want. And I think that's like an issue because we're constantly emasculating men. But then we say, where did all the good men go? And it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I think feminism sounded cool to a lot of people at first, but as it began to unravel, it became scary.
Yeah, it just went out of control. Like, again, I don't want to sound like a male sympathizer because there's times where I just am mad at men, but
Nah, I know, but you're like legit though, because I've seen a lot, where women, this whole feminism thing is a cool thing, and then I've seen how what is done, how the dynamics of the men have changed, so you have to call things out for what they are.
yeah, and like, I know a lot of people don't like to hear it because, like, I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican, and people just, they don't like to hear those things coming from a woman, so I'd like to keep my mouth shut. And there's like a certain way you have to look at things, and you just be like, no, it's just not fair. And feminism is about equality, but it's not equal anymore.
Yeah.
Monica, what you want to say?
I would even go as far as calling it a supremacist group because of how far they've taken it.
Yeah.
Right? It's such a hate a man and manning shit and going through great lengths to embarrass them. And then they're like, "Oh, we're the good men," but like like these men like are actually trying to court the women, but they want, like, because a lot of women have turned so masculine by being in the workforce and taking on the role of the mother and a father. Um, they, it's just messed up, I think, and it's a supremacist group.
All right, ladies, let's get to the next topic. My question for you guys now is, what makes a woman cheat? Let's start from the top. Yes, see.
Oh my God. What makes a woman cheat? I guess lack of integrity and character.
So you don't think that it's ever okay for a woman to cheat?
Okay, so you see,
I'm just asking the question. Don't take my question as you agree or not because I
I
can flip it.
mean, no
Go
one
ahead.
really can make you do anything. You do what you want to do because you want to do it. And if you choose someone else's actions towards you as an excuse to act ill, then that has nothing to do with that person, but who you are as a person. So, what takes a person to cheat? Lack of integrity, lack of character, lack of morals and ethics.
Sophie.
Yeah, can it also be just a cry for attention sometimes, I guess?
Okay, so a woman needs more attention, so she steps out.
Yeah.
But why though? Like why didn't she communicate that she needed attention with her man? Or what attention is she seeking that she can't get from her man?
Well, it's an action to get that attention from
From
the man.
him?
Yeah.
So cheat on your dude to get attention from him. Interesting. That's not a good strategy.
No, it's
Um,
not. But I think it's true.
but do you agree that the reason why a lot of women want this attention is because it's presented on a platter with social media. You have this false perception of a lot of men wanting you, right? And you think that these men wanting you mean the same, or you can get the same from these men that you can with your man.
Yeah, it's an
So,
ego thing for sure.
what'd you say?
It's an ego thing, I think.
So you think that women have ego about wanting attention from a lot of men? That's why they cheat.
Yeah.
Okay, Kira,
Kyria.
Kyria, go ahead,
Yeah,
Kyria.
I know it's tough. I don't know. I think it's either lack of integrity or fear of confrontation.
Okay,
Yeah, because like again, integrity, it's about who you are as a person. Even though your man isn't showing you love and attention and you're seeking it elsewhere, you can just end the relationship, but that's where the fear of confrontation comes in.
okay, Asia, what do you think?
Um, I think it's a selfish way of maybe attacking like one's relationship in the aspect of for example, they're lacking something in the relationship, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual, whatever it is, and so it's a selfish act um, done by the other person, by the woman more so than anything.
Okay, Monica, the question is,
Yeah.
what do you think makes a woman cheat?
Um, Lack of morals, no respect for herself, um, probably an absent father, um,
Okay,
lack of belief system. And yeah, I think it's a lot of things.
Yeah, lack of morality too. Yeah.
okay, so let's flip this around. Let's get interesting. So, would you? Why do you guys think that men cheat? And what would you classify as a man cheating?
So what I've heard is that men like variety. They just
Mhm.
want to just sleep with a bunch of different women. I guess they want a blonde woman one day, brown one, Asian the next day. I don't know. I guess that's what I've heard. I just think it's a little animalistic.
Right.
but
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 human beings are animals. Women want strong, big men that can
we're
pull them.
animals, but we're also not at the same time. We also have brains and we also have judgment and we also know what's right and from what's wrong. Most animals.
Okay, so let me present this to you. Women want a man that is strong, taller than her. Um, isn't that animalistic to not want a guy who is short and weak? Why do you want this big, strong man?
I agree on both sides. There is definitely animalistic on both sides, but
Okay,
at the same time, that doesn't mean that we're gonna go all just date a
so
tall
here we
dude
go. Here we go.
for
Here we go,
that.
Adrian. This is what men value, and this is what women value. Women
Mhm.
value a woman's biological purpose is to find the best man to protect her offspring. This is what women were designed to do: get the best man, so your offspring survives. This is how all of us got here, right? Our mothers and we decided to pick the best man she thought so that we could be here.
Mm.
Men want to spread their seed. So I don't think a man is cheating when he's sleeping with another woman. I think he's cheating when he's sharing those resources with another woman. The resources he's giving you as the mother of his children, the main woman in his life. I don't think that he's cheating by just sleeping with another woman.
I just think that just because there's a lot of different kinds of people in this world, I just don't think it's just the safest route for that. Like I said, like I don't care for the most part in my relationship what a man does. He can hang out with the girl, like they can even go out to dinner. I don't care. But like when you're actually like putting your dick in something, like that's a little. It's a little.
It's emotional. You know why? It's emotional. You know why it means a lot to you? Forget the help. I understand that you don't want your man to obviously catch STDs, and that's something that you should have a conversation with. But it's more emotional for women. Sex is, right? Because there's a lot more risk when you have sex than a man, right? You can create life. We can't create life, but it isn't the same thing for men. Men. Sex is not an emotional thing for men. Men can fuck a hole in the wall. Men would fuck. You guys see how easy it is for you guys to get sex. It is not difficult. You can always get sex from plenty of men. That should tell you that that's not what men value in terms of relationship. You can easily get sex from as many men as you want, but a marriage and for him to take care of you, that's a different thing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it they don't really teach people of younger generations all of that. Like, there's a whole bunch of girls that think, hey, if I give it up to this dude, he's gonna like me and he's gonna stay with me because I laid it on him. And it's not even like that. So I just think that a lot of the teaching is extremely skewed. And
so okay,
I
what do you
just
guys
feel
think?
I have a quick question because
Correct.
it's always bamboozled my mind. If you love me, right?
Mhm.
Why would you want anything outside of me, first of all? And
I
secondly,
can. So
like,
here we go. Let me answer that for you. All right, I can love you and die, and be willing to die for you, and still fuck other girls. I don't
but
love
why would
them.
you want to
I'm not willing
expose
to die
me?
for them. Here you go. Sex is emotional, and it means more to women than it does to men.
But it's also physical, and you can kill me if you catch the wrong shit and bring it home.
Of course, but what I'm telling you is, men do not look at sex as emotional as women. For you, this ties into why body count matters for women, and women try to deny it and they try to talk about it doesn't really matter. But look how you guys take a man fucking another girl. Look how that is such a problem for women. That shows you that directly that women know that sex is something sacred to them. It's not to men. This is
But
why
because you
men.
love me, you will
yeah,
honor it and be, and uphold it as sacred as we feel, right?
But
And
it's
and
it's
not.
I,
only
It's not.
right.
It's
right.
not realistic. It's
And
not.
I would prefer someone with more morals that actually values those things. That's what I
Let's
really
not.
hope.
Okay, so this is what's gonna happen, Asia, ladies. You're gonna meet a guy that tells you exactly what you want to hear, and every chance he gets to fuck another girl, he's gonna take it. Or you get with a guy who is at least honest about it. You create some clear boundaries, right? And you say, hey, you gonna do this? I'm not gonna accept this. I will leave you if this happens. I will. Or you just hear what you want to hear and get cheated on regardless. Because this is what most women accept. I'm just gonna hear what I want to hear. Yes, he's never gonna fuck another girl. Yes, he shouldn't want to fuck another girl, even though men have 7 times more testosterone than women, even though they're fucking horny every hour of the day, and sex is not as important to them, all right, as it is to me. Even though that all of that is true.
He can have sex with all
So
those girls. He's just not gonna have sex with me anymore. That's
Okay,
fine.
so
Go
what
have
I'm what
sex
I'm
with all
telling
of
you,
them. That's
what I'm
fine.
what
I
I'm
should have
telling
the
you,
opportunity to make that decision of whether or not that I want to stay with a dude that can't control his dick. That should be my
it's
choice.
not about him controlling his dick. It's his nature. The same way you want a strong man that can provide and protect for you. So are women stupid for wanting men that are better than them?
But you don't always have to act on things. It's not necessarily a good choice or a good decision to
So
act on
Asia,
things.
would you pick a man? You had a choice: a stronger, taller, more competent, successful man, or a man who was weak, short, and couldn't do anything for you. Which man are you gonna pick every single time?
I've dated both.
So which man would you pick if you had the choice? Who would you pick?
The one that really has my back the most.
Here you go. This is the delusion. Here you're worrying about your feelings instead of reality. This is
All
why
right. Well, okay. So we'll answer it just for the whole generic thing. Sure, we'll go for the
it's
taller.
not generic. It's
You know?
reality. You would
Yeah.
always
Well,
pick every
because
single
you
time.
would pick a girl with a bigger ass over a girl with a smaller ass. Okay, that's fine. Doesn't
The
mean you're gonna
fuck,
get it,
the
but you
fuck.
know.
No, that's not going to be his determinant for a marriage. See,
Okay.
here we go again. You guys are associating how you view sex to the same way how men view sex. Men do not view sex the same way. What we want from a woman that we want to marry and a woman that we want to fuck are not that same thing. But sex is sacred to women. You can create life. This is why a woman's body count does matter. But modern women want to deny it. Oh no, it doesn't. But damn, why is sex so important to y'all? Then why can't men just fuck any other girl and it doesn't bother? It bothers you because it's sacred to you. And you feel like he doesn't love you if he fucks another girl. Well, what I'm telling you is most men who are honest, they will fuck other women. They just won't love them as they love you. And women just don't want to accept this harsh reality. What I don't want for women to experience is men who tell you what you want to hear, and then go. So, do you guys understand that a man who let me break the ice. Let me give y'all some harsh truth, right? This is why a man who tells you what you want to hear is the worst man for you, because he's not used to getting girls. He's not had his practice with women, right? He's not a man that a lot of women want. So any chance he gets to get some pussy, he's gonna take it. Every single chance. So what women are doing is they're settling for this kind of guy who's just telling them what they want to hear. Meanwhile, this is the guy that would cheat on you the most. How many of you have been with a guy that you didn't think or you didn't see as the hottest, but he's still cheating on you? She's the only one. So you guys have never been with a guy that slept with another girl that you
Hard
didn't
to
think
say
was
no.
the none of y'all. Asia.
No.
You've never been with a guy that you didn't think was that hot. That cheated on you still.
Honestly, I haven't had that many boyfriends, believe it or not. But it didn't end because of that. Like I dated a dude before that was like a 1 in my eyes. But we broke up because of his fucking attitude. That's what it was. I was sick of him and his shit. So that
So
was
you
it.
dated a 1. So you dated a guy
Yeah.
you weren't even attracted to, and
Yeah.
it still ended.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, it ended. It still ended. So why not go be with the guy that you want to be with and just accept the fact that he's still gonna fuck other girls?
I guess I've never tried it out.
I mean, at 30, when you gonna start trying?
I don't know.
Don't get out this. But this is all part of the brainwashing that women are going through. Asia, you're not in the sexual marketplace. You're not putting yourself out there to attract men, and you don't want to compete for one. Like, when do you expect this man to fall from the sky?
I really don't know.
So you should start making yourself an asset to a man's life.
I
Well, at least-
feel like I'm definitely an asset. I just haven't put myself out there to really show any guys that all the assets that I could bring
Yeah,
to
but
his life.
you're passing now. You're getting to the point where you're becoming, and this might hurt, less valuable to men because you're losing your youth, and men value youth and beauty.
I mean, I don't look old.
It doesn't matter. See, here we go. It doesn't matter what you look
No, I
like.
get it. No, I get it. I
You're losing your
understand
youth.
what you said. I understand.
Right. So men value a woman who's young, right, and has youth. And you waiting for this magic guy to come, he ain't coming. So you need to get out there and accept the fact that the men who tell you what you want to hear are the worst. If I had a daughter, y'all listen to this, what I tell my daughter. I would say, hey, go and get the best guy you can get. He's gonna fuck other bitches. Just at least have this talk with him and tell him what you won't accept. And you definitely have the right to walk away if those boundaries are crossed. Just don't be delusional and think that this guy that you so attracted to and is successful and has all these things is not gonna want to exercise his options. That's not realistic. And it does not mean he's cheating on you as well. He can love you and be willing to die for you, but he still will sleep with other women. But women don't want to accept that. And the reason y'all don't want to accept that is because the body count does matter. This is the truth. It does matter because it's sacred to y'all. So let me ask you guys this question. You're talking about that. What is a high body count to y'all in terms of women?
15.
Yeah.
Fifth. Okay, let's start
15.
Sophie, I'm gonna get to you. What's a high body count
For a woman or a man.
for a woman? What is too high? What should men be okay with?
I don't know.
It also depends on how old she is too.
No, men don't care about none of that.
I'm just
Sorry.
saying, if a young girl has 15 bodies over a freaking whatever 40-year-old has
Understood.
15 bodies, it's a difference.
Understood.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
get that.
I don't know, maybe 10?
So you think past 10 is too high for a woman?
I think from the man's perspective, it might be somewhere around it.
Okay, what is you guys' perspective? What do you guys think is too high? Or do
I
you guys mind sharing your body counts?
I honestly don't think like more than 7
you
is
guys-
too much.
Do you guys mind sharing your body counts? How many men you've been with? Here goes the silence.
4.
Here comes the silence. Do you want to say your body counts? Let's start with Sophie. Sophie, what's the body count? Be honest.
I think somewhere around 35.
Okay, at 27.
Yeah.
Okay. Kyra.
Kyria.
Kyria.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
just calling you K. K.
That's
Q.
fine.
Okay.
4.
Okay, so 19, 4.
Yeah.
Asia.
11.
How old are you? 30.
Yeah.
And Monica.
10, including my fiance.
And how old are you?
25.
So,
Congrats.
what'd you say?
I said congratulations. She has a
Thank
fiance.
you.
Okay, so just looking at these numbers, and I'm assuming you guys are being honest. All of you guys, in most men's eyes, have too high body counts.
Well, I had 3 before I met my boyfriend, and he was fine with it.
Right. You are the safest because
Well, basically, they want a virgin. I get it.
right. But do you understand why?
I understand why now. I just wish they teach that more to younger girls because like there's just a lot of just confusion going on. You know, a lot of girls are trying to gain acceptance and they think if they sleep with a dude, boom. But it's not that way at all.
So, and this is my point to this. Trauma is good for men, not for women. The more men you sleep with, the more trauma you invite into your life, the more like women are not meant to be promiscuous. This is why sex is so sacred to you, and you can't stand that your man wants to fuck another woman because you know deep down this is how you would judge as a woman.
Yeah, but women shouldn't also be judged as hard for body counts anymore, considering. Wait, hold on. I know that was a hot take, but being a good woman isn't necessarily encouraged anymore. Like, let's say, like Asia was saying, you're talking to a dude and you're not giving him sex because you're not in an exclusive relationship yet, but the next girl will, so he's gonna go to the next girl. So that's
But
so
this
like
is okay. Here's the point. This is what I mean. Men are not getting virgins, so the incentive to court is not there anymore. If all of y'all were virgins, men will be more willing to wait. But you can't expect men to say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna wait for this. I'm gonna wait for this box that you've given to 11, 10, 4, 35 other dudes. It's just that you gotta understand how men think. We want to provide and protect for you, not when we're sharing what we believe is valuable. So women will always be judged hard by men on your body counts. But luckily for you guys, a lot of men don't know, right? You guys will never be completely honest with most men about how many guys you've been with. But there are some behaviors that can be indicators. But men will never be okay with you having multiple sexual partners.
what about like sexual assault? Do men consider those bodies as well?
If you want to, but
No.
we're talking about by choice, by choice.
Okay.
All the trauma and the bad things that happened to you, I'm sorry they happened to you, and I wish they didn't happen to you. But by choice, the men you decided to open yourself up to. Men do not like their women to be shared. The more you have, the less valuable you are to a man. That's just men. So, what do you guys think about that?
I think that I might have struck out, I think, in a good way, because I actually didn't come into, like, this type of mentality didn't come into my awareness till maybe the past year and a half or so, when I started seeing clips of Fresh and Fit and just pearly things. Um, yeah, and then I would talk to my partner about these things. I'm like, hey, what do you think about this? And he's just so like mind blown, I guess, because he's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't think that way. Like, it's kind of, he's like, I can see how other guys think that way, and he would like message his homeboys. They have this like group chat, and he would ask them certain things, and they do agree on that side. They're like, yeah, I do value like purity and beauty and youth. Um, but he's like, I don't know, like his brain cannot, I guess, like fathom that.
How many? Okay, let me ask you. The boyfriend this is your fiance, right?
Yes.
How long have you been with him?
Almost 5 years.
Okay, and did he have a lot of options with women?
Yeah.
Honestly, and for him, he didn't have a problem with his girl having that many bodies.
No, I think his only thing is like, don't cheat on me, which, I think it's
But
not
you see,
unreasonable.
okay, here we go. Right. So the more men that you've been with, how likely do you think it is that you're gonna cheat on your man?
I personally don't think it's very likely. It's never been in my moral compass. I've never felt that urge to do so. And I've never put myself in situations where like I would be tempted or whatever. It's not in my moral compass. I believe in karma, and so I wouldn't want that to be done to me.
So, if you guys didn't know, once a woman passes 5 in terms of partners, her chances at marriage significant, like keep staying in a long term marriage, significantly decreases.
And I can see that. I can see
No,
that.
no, for sure. I mean, like also men and women aside, a woman's ability to pair bond and bond with someone sexually just goes down significantly. Like your body definitely keeps score of how many people you slept with, so with me, I felt like when I met my boyfriend and like I know I'm gonna marry him, but I'm 19, so we're waiting a little bit. But I felt so bad for not being a virgin. Like for the first time, I was like, oh my god, I should have waited until marriage because I was raised Christian, but I liked fell off religion for a while. It was a mess, but like I'm back and I'm like a really strong Christian. I'm not like a reborn virgin or anything like that, but I felt so guilty for not being a virgin because I finally understood the value of purity. I never understood it before. Thank God I didn't, like I only did that with like 3 other people before. But so with him, he wanted to, wait till marriage and do all of that. But I, as a woman, I already gave it to 3 guys, so I wasn't going to withhold it from him either. So I understand the why purity is just is wanted from men. Like I totally understand that now. It's not so out of this world to want purity. It's not. It took me a little bit, and I regret it. I really do regret not waiting. But
So what would you guys say is the body count that women should have? Like, what do you think? What do you think is okay at this point? Just stop. What do you advise to your fellow woman?
I think that once you've just touched double digits.
So you gonna give them to double digits? Jesus.
I mean, I think that taking into consideration like the Western world and the world we live in and how young women are affected by music and all these artists and all of that, they all want to go through their whole phase and do that for a couple of years. But that's what I think. I don't know.
So let me ask you a question, Monica. Would it have been fair for your boyfriend, for you at 25, for him to disqualify you for being with 10 men? Would it have been fair?
Yeah, if he found that wasn't his preference, then there's nothing that I can do with that. But I will also say that I think because he's not American, that there's that like cultural difference in his mind. So he's French, so they think a little different.
Okay. So you say 10, you say double digits.
Yeah, I say like once you hit maybe 10.
Okay. And what do you say, Sophie?
Yeah, I wanted to just add, I wish I would have learned these things sooner. Like I realized, and I'm looking at the chat in the meantime, and I'm just like,
do not look at the chat.
No, because I'm learning, and I'm here to learn. I'm here to grow.
Okay.
But it's harsh there.
Right, I know.
I just wanted to say and kind of ask if it counts for anything to, try to turn that around, because I don't know who mentioned it before, but I've also learned about these concepts quite recently, and I have trauma in the past. I used sex as a coping mechanism, and since my last relationship ended, I was just not with anyone for almost a year.
Mm-hmm.
Just to because I realized that that's just not who I am and who I want to be. So I think that when you are in a state of survival, that's something different, and that you can be a little bit more forgiving when you try to turn things around for yourself.
So okay, this goes back to the lack of accountability by women, right? And this is I wouldn't say this is you guys' fault specifically, but as a man's life, right? I'm gonna give you guys a little glimpse of a man's life. Every decision we take, there's a consequence for it, and there's nobody to save us from the decisions we make. So when we're picking a woman, like who the men that she has been with, it's kind of a status symbol for your man, right? To say that my girl has not been with any other dude, or my girl hasn't given herself to any other. This is what make men feel like we're with a valuable woman. In terms of how you could turn this around, I think you just have to do everything in your power to let go of what you think or you heard about being a good woman, and just try to be as much of an asset to a man's life.
Yeah.
Because a good amount of men will be okay with your body count. They won't be happy with it.
I'm
But
not happy with it either.
right, they won't be. But they it's gonna make them.
Yeah,
But
it's the same. Yeah.
but if you can be an asset to their life, a lot of men will be. They will deal with it. The only problem is though, are these the men that you want? See, this is where I think women are they're sold the dream. Women are sold the dream, right? Because the men you want, other women want these men, and it's like at that point, it becomes very very difficult for y'all because I sincerely believe a high value woman and a high value man, you don't have the same amount of options, right? Because when a man is a high value, women want to fuck him, date him, marry him, everything. But with a woman, like you only truly have options when a man is ready to give you a family, and he gets to decide what he wants when he wants it. So
And it's also, I think, the fact that women mostly date up in the status, right?
mhm.
So
Yep,
there's limited amount of high value men, and then they have the bigger pool to choose from because it doesn't really matter the level of education or whatever it might be for a woman.
yeah, men don't care about that. We don't care about how much money you make, what your education is. Like this is not what gets men going. We do not care. But
Yeah.
women have been told to believe that that's what they should put first. So I would say no more than no. It's tough, man. Body count, I don't know. I think it's gonna be up to the guy. For me, I don't want to because it once it gets to a certain point, I sincerely believe it's harder for a woman to pay a body. It becomes almost impossible for you to give yourself to this guy long term. Not right now. Not saying that you can't do it for the time being, but when shit gets rough in a relationship, right? There's more incentive to leave the more men that you've been with. And a man that understands women knows that. That's why he doesn't want women with a high body count. Because if things go wrong in a relationship, what are you used to? If things go wrong, it's another dick, another dick. So it's opposed to a girl who's been with one guy. I mean, there's nothing really else for her to compare to. There's this false sense of options that women have or think they have. So that ruins relationships long term. So I would say 5 is the max, and 5 at like 25. 5 at because they got girls now, man, who just that thing it's gonna come back to bite you. The more men you sleep with, the more trauma you gotta deal with. Like I said, sex is more emotional for women. It's not as emotional for men. So, um, Asia, if you only been with 11 dudes at 30, that's impressive.
Thank you.
If you're being honest,
I am being honest.
okay, sure.
So fine. You don't have to believe it,
But
but I
you better get to find a man quickly
know.
and stop letting. Don't wait for him to
maybe,
come
maybe
find.
I'll go put myself out there. I don't know.
Maybe.
Mhm. I'll try. I'll do my best.
Okay. All right. So my last question for you guys, this topic today is, what do you think about body positivity? What do you guys think? Is it a good thing, bad thing?
Uh,
Body positivity, especially towards women, is it a good thing or a bad thing?
Um, I think it depends because with all these like movements of like acceptance and all this
Mhm.
stuff, this fat acceptance thing, it gotta go. No, like we're so protective of people's feelings that we're putting that over facts, and we're like, oh no, like you're healthy at a being overweight. No, your blood pressure doesn't indicate that. Your life expectancy just went down 15, 20 years. Your likelihood of having children, no, I don't know. And we shouldn't enable that. It's not okay. I think people are like, oh, you should just accept people and love people. But I think it's more loving and more compassionate to be like, hey, you need to, you know, not be going down this road because you're killing yourself in the name of positivity and acceptance.
Yeah. I I get it. I think that the whole body positivity thing. Okay, I'm gonna keep it all the way real with you guys. Probably a big reason why I didn't get a lot of dates is because I used to be like 100 pounds heavier than this, and nobody would know. I don't have loose skin or any of that. But like nobody like told me back then. They're like, "Oh, you're great how you are," you know. No, like I just wish they would have been more honest and said, "Hey, you need to get healthy," because I'm much more happier now. Now that I'm healthy, like I'm strong, I don't look anything like that. I don't even really look like the same person. So I just wish that body positivity. I guess everybody should feel comfortable and should want to do things for themselves to be at their best version of themselves. But when it comes to health, being that overweight is not healthy, and you will definitely like it's been shown that people can go to an early grave from just being, that much overweight.
It's
So
not. It hasn't been shown. It is proven.
yeah, that's what I meant.
Right. The more
That's yeah, that's exactly what I meant.
you're
It's
gonna
been
die.
proven.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people, the doctors will tell them, hey, look, if you don't change what you're doing, then you're gonna die. So I just think that sometimes body positivity, those people like they grow up or they're around a bunch of people that are like, yeah, you're fine, you're great. No, maybe they I don't know why they do that.
So
But
let me ask you this, Asia. Was the encouragement coming from your friends?
encouragement, yeah, came from friends, yeah, and people
Do you
just
know why that is?
probably because they wanted to keep me down and they didn't want me to be hot. I'm just playing. I don't know,
No, that
but
is that's not just playing. This is the problem. I believe that, ladies, I'm going to be honest. For the most part, y'all hate each other, right? In terms of your friend groups, women are not. I wouldn't say women. Y'all hate each other. Y'all hate y'all friends because a lot of women are with friends that they know are doing the wrong things, but misery loves company. All right,
you're right.
you
The
see.
girls, when I started losing weight, they were getting upset. They're like, I don't like the way you look now. I don't, they were literally telling me that. I was like, bruh. And I just knew it. I knew it from that.
Yeah, but you know why that is? Women want the best guy. They know when you guys are out, they want the hottest guy to pick them. It's competition. Y'all compete without consciously realizing it. You're doing it subconsciously. You want to be the best looking woman so you get the best guy. So I'm gonna let the rest of the girls speak about what they think about body positivity.
I think that it's another thing that just went a little too far. Like, we're all just being so conscious of everyone else's feelings that we're not stopping to think, hey, we're enabling people to go down a really unhealthy path because we're scared to tell them that, bro, you're obese, you don't look good, and you're not healthy. Like, anyone who is like 200 pounds, like, they don't look good. And like, you could see in the comments, everyone's like, oh my God, you're so beautiful. But I know everyone in those comments are lying. It's just, but you're furtherly enabling that person to keep going on that path because one, they're getting attention for it. And usually people who get attention for doing something that is supposed to be wrong, they will keep doing that and keep themselves in that negative position in order to get sympathy and attention from other people. And that's another thing that is completely wrong. So it started like feminism. It started off with a good intention, but then again, now it's just completely out of control.
And Sophie,
I agree.
let me ask you ladies this. Why do you think it's pushed more towards women than men? Because you don't really see that many body positivity campaigns from men. Go ahead, Monica.
Um, I will go ahead and put my tinfoil hat on this one because I think it's to push infertility. I think that they want to decrease the population in the world, and if you do it with women, then it's kind of like why they also push birth control. I think it's
Interesting.
kind of in the same area.
But so looking deeper, it's not just for fertility and to control population, but it's consumerism. Women are the biggest consumers, right? If you make every woman feel included, you're gonna get more customers. So women need to just sit back and think about why all these movements are happening. Feminism. Let's start with feminism. Get you out of the house because if you guys didn't know, a single family household is taxed more than a family unit. Like if you and your family, like if you had a man and you and kids, you guys are taxed the least. You by yourself, you're taxed at a higher percentage. So the goal was to get women to work, so more taxes. Body positivity, make women feel more included, get more customers. Because if you're looking at Victoria's Secret models for a long time, or what healthy was, it was always the thin woman. Um, but now, why not make every woman feel included so we can make more money? This is why I go back to telling women stop falling for the crap of what sounds good. It doesn't really have your best interest. All right.
I get that. That did really start coming around to a marketing anyway. Like nobody really talked about body positivity like that before until they were trying to sell something.
Exactly. To get you to feel included
I
so you
get
can
it.
buy. All right. And another thing about your fellow women, right, is there's a lot of people, a lot of women, a lot of men who pander and tell women what they want to hear, but it's not because they really care about you and want you to have the best outcome. It's so that you can buy whatever they're telling you. I teach guys that they need to have accountability. Hey, if you're fat, you're out of shape, you're not making no money, you're not gonna attract women. It's just not gonna happen. You need to make yourself the best version of yourself. But that's not the same advice being given to women. So men and women, I believe you have the most power when you're being held accountable. I take all your power away from you when I'm telling you that it's not your fault. It is your fault. Everything is your fault. The sooner that men can realize that, the better. The sooner women realize it, the better. If you make everything your fault, guess what happens? You can't be controlled. You can't tell me that it's this, and this that's making my life. Nah, it's me. I get what I want. So I would just that's just my advice for women. Um, stop listening to what sounds good and figure out the truth. So let's start from the top. What did you guys learn from today? And where can people find you or any last thoughts? Go ahead, Sophie.
Keep some private things to yourself.
Keep what? What'd you say?
Keep some things to yourself.
What do you mean by that?
I wouldn't share my body count with my current state, I think.
Okay, but I think that's a little disingenuous. I didn't. So when I say what you've learned, not that you should hide your body count. Maybe that you should focus more on being an asset to a man, so your body count isn't the deal breaker for him.
Okay.
Because what you don't want to happen is he finds out this shit later, and that's a deal breaker. I would rather you be honest about it, right, and lose the men that are just those are deal breakers for, but focus on being a more of an asset. That's the honest way to do it.
Fair.
Don't if you lie and you get this guy, he finds out. Or you guys are somewhere, and I'm telling you how men are. Telling you how men are. It's a status. It's a status symbol for us to be with a girl that not every guy has been with. But if you've already made those mistakes, there's no point in you like you can't go back and change it. I'll focus on becoming more of an asset to a man's life. Obviously, you shouldn't be just walking around telling every guy that you've been with this many dudes. But if it ever comes up and he's literally trying to act, if he's being serious, trying to get that number from you, it's because he might want something more. The only time men ask about your body count, let me give you guys some games. Let me give you guys some games. Is when they're looking for something serious. Men don't really give a shit if they don't want nothing with you. But if you can be honest, what I would say about men is the faster you're honest with him, the better. I think. But that's just my advice. So don't hide that. Focus more on being an asset. If it comes up, be honest about it. Um, explain why. Don't hide it. Because if I was with a girl, right, I guarantee you right now, if I was with a girl and she told me 5, and I find out it's 35 when we at the altar or whenever, it's over because you lied. Lying is a cardinal sin for me. I would have rather accepted the fact that you had a high body count, but you proved to me that that part of your life is over, then you lie to me.
Yeah, that's very fair. Thank you.
Next.
Oh, I learned that women compete against each other a lot more than we think we do.
In what ways?
Just like in the dating market, I guess. Like I don't go out at all. I'm a homebody. I like to stay home. So I've never been to a club before. I don't drink alcohol or anything like that. So I didn't know, and I don't have any girlfriends. So I didn't know that girls actually compete with their girlfriends when they go out. I didn't know that at all until like now.
And women, but subconsciously as well, women compete.
I mean, probably. I don't really do anything like that. Like at least I don't think so. Maybe I do it subconsciously.
You're
But
doing it right now by becoming an asset to a man's life, not drinking, not going to clubs, being feminine. That's you competing with other women.
oh. Well, see, like that. I didn't know that until like now. I
Right.
thought I was doing what I was supposed to do.
Subconsciously, you're doing what you need to do to attract men.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a revelation.
Okay, Monica.
I'm on the same boat. I was today years old when I realized that I'm competing even when I'm not trying to. So,
But that's a good mindset to be in, right? If a lot of women started with that mindset, the decisions that you've made, you wouldn't have made them. Because like I said, for men, it's not the same thing. We don't get a savior. If a guy is 35 and a bum, women are just not gonna fuck him. Ain't nobody coming to tell him, hey bro, women are just not gonna for men it's very black and white, right? Either you're successful women or you're not. But for women, because you're gonna get a lot of options when you're young, and most men are gonna want to sleep with you when you're young. If you don't make the right decisions and just fall for this trap, you can look back 10, 15 years from now and decrease your value when you thought you were in your prime. All right.
true.
Asia.
Well, like they said, and that was like another thing. I didn't realize that they wanted me to be fat on purpose. So that definitely shed light into a lot of just just issues that I've had in the past. So it's good to know.
So would you agree that people want you to be independent for a purpose as well? Would you say that being independent right now is not the best thing for you?
I would say it's not.
So what do you think you should do?
It would be easier. I also believe it would be easier for the man too, to basically, take me off this single chair.
Okay, but here's the problem. Here's the problem. That guy that you're gonna want to do that, chances are he's gonna have several things about himself that is above average, right?
Okay.
Right? Yes, right or wrong?
I would hope so.
Right. So and guess what? Every other woman wants.
Every other woman wants above average.
So guess who you're competing with for that guy to take you off this a single chair?
And I guess it was more so I didn't even realize I was competing. I've just kind of been living in the moment, not more so, but also just I don't know. I just didn't put too much brain effort into even thinking that this was a competition.
Women have been finessed. This is why most women are promiscuous in marriages that they leave unhappy, boss babes, but they're not really independent because you're still competing. You're just giving the wrong information in this competition. You're thinking that being his boss babe is what's gonna give you the leverage, but it's
I
really
never thought that being a boss babe, number one, it just happened like that. It just kind of happened. I had to take care of myself. I didn't have anybody to take care of me or help me. So I had to like do for myself and for myself. And it sucks, you know, but hey, what do you do?
your
You
friend,
know?
your friends were the enablers of that. When you were overweight and they
Yeah.
told you look good, they
Yeah.
wanted you to stay fat. If they would have been telling you that, hey, when we go out, we really want you to stay fat so the guys pick us, your ass would have been losing weight a lot faster.
Maybe so.
All right, so my advice to you is just maybe it's time to get out there, and it's gonna be rough, but
It's gonna be rough.
of course, where do you live?
I live in
Miami.
Miami.
Oh my god.
That's why I don't go out much because I already know. I already know what it's like. I already know, you know. So it's just,
So
it's
you're
the
in the
same
jungle.
thing. It's the
You're in the
same.
jungle. You're in the jungle, and you want him to come find you in your bedroom. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
it's insanity, right?
Yeah, that's very interesting.
It's insane.
I can guarantee you this: if the girls in Miami are competing, 100%, they're competing even more.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure they
you
are.
might want to get on it. All right. So, ladies, where can people find y'all? Start with Sophie.
My username is tagged.
Okay. You maybe want to just say it for them.
Both Northern Heads.
Okay.
Instagram.
What do you do? Is it just what do you kind of do for people that are looking for you?
Well, I work as an in-house consultant at a large IT company,
Okay.
and I post on Instagram and TikTok about fitness and health.
Okay. Next.
You can find me on Instagram or on TikTok if you want any cleaning hacks or cleaning motivation. You can find me at Home with Kyria. And I do have my own podcast, which is, you can also find it through my Instagram, but my podcast name is The Most Successful Failure on Spotify.
Okay. Most successful failure. Okay. And what exactly are you teaching people?
I'm not necessarily teaching. My main goal with the podcast is to be a modern voice of reason. So just bringing together groups of people who wouldn't necessarily speak to one another because everyone gets so offended nowadays. My latest episode was Is Hustle Culture the Death of Female Empowerment? So if you want to give that a listen, you can. But the main thing there is that I was financially independent from 17. I've been living on my own since I was 17 years old, and I've learned a decent amount of life lessons. And because I'm so big on TikTok, everyone was asking me for questions on how to move out or how to secure a career and stuff like that at a young age. And I came from a domestic violence household, so that as well. So I just basically talk about what my current audience wants me to talk about.
Okay.
hmm
Monica.
You can find me on Instagram at who is Monica G. I mostly like post on my stories. I talk about like social and political issues, social and urban decay, and LGBTQ madness. Stuff like
Okay. Okay. Asia.
All right. Well, you can find me on Instagram at the official Asia Sky. I'm a singer and a pianist, and I basically manage a record label right now with a few artists. I also do a little comedy show podcast. It's pretty lit.
Okay. Awesome. I got a one super chat from Sam. Fitx is the best in the game right now. Appreciate you. All right, guys. All right, ladies. Y'all stay for a second, but I appreciate y'all for coming on. See everybody else next week. Y'all stay on for a second. Deuces. Peace.